breakfast is done. Getting ready to head out. I was thinking while eating breakfast, talking about this bread, the unhealthiness of bread. I was thinking about like hotels that you would go to that have the continental breakfast, and thought about most of the breakfast foods are wheat-based, bread-based. You got your cereals, you got your brownies, you got your croissants and breads, all of that stuff. Donuts, brownies. That is mostly what those breakfasts consist of, because they're genetically modified, based from wheat. It's quicker and easier to make, plus it is cheaper, and that is what those two books I started reading are talking about. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, family. Headed out to a little bit of breakfast this morning. Our temperature is 73 degrees, showing on the motorcycle now. I'm headed out to Panera Bread, and I'm going and finding out how much I could eat this morning that is not bread. I'm trying to lay off of bread. They say bread causes a lot of, well, most of the illnesses in society. I've started reading two books years ago that was talking about the bread that we now have that our ancestors did not have. So going to Panera Bread to see maybe soup, maybe a salad. But I do plan on getting a cinnamon toast crunch bagel. So there's that for trying to lay off of bread. But the two books I started reading, one of them is Grain Brain. I think the author's last name is Davis on that particular book. And the other book is Wheat Belly. And it was saying that the wheat that we currently have, since it's genetically modified, it causes a lot of most illnesses that we see, especially in America. I guess other countries don't some other countries don't genetically modify their bread like we do here in America to make it cheaper and to produce it faster. So that first book, Grain Brain, is still talking about the wheat, the effects that it have on that the wheat, genetically modified wheat and bread that we use, and it's not just bread, it's just wheat, period. Anything that we use here, pasta. Talking about how it affects the brain, and bread is really just sugar. And sugar is a big part of a lot of cancers. I talked to a nurse one time, and they say that to search for sugar in the body of a patient, they actually inject. To search for cancer in the body of a patient, they actually inject sugar, and they follow where that sugar goes in the body, and that sugar actually searches out the cancerous area. So then that other book, Wheat Belly, they say I know we have a term here, we refer to it as beer belly. And this book is talking about how the more accurate term should be wheat belly, because it is the wheat that causes the belly to get fat. It's the wheat in beer that causes the belly to get fat. So that's where we're starting out here today. Just want to put that in there while I'm trying to lay off of bread. Protect my brain, protect my body. Stay away from sugar. So let's ride out. I'm riding out now, so my current temperature is showing 72 degrees. I figured it would change after I got started from home, after I started moving. So what have I been doing lately? What rides have I done? I've done a group ride, small group ride to Bald River Falls. That's actually in Tellico Plains, Tennessee. Road up there is it's a beautiful, beautiful waterfall. I like the sound of rushing water, not necessarily rushing, but flowing water or rushing water. The rushing water can get kind of loud, but either way, it's kind of a calming sound to me. Then last weekend we did another group ride with a separate group. We had I think we had three new people we hadn't ridden with before. It was a good ride to Amicalola Falls in North Georgia. I did measure my miles per gallon going up the mountain to Tennessee and coming back down. I think I have some pictures of those miles per gallon calculations. Let's continue this ride. On the ride to Tellico Plains, we actually did get on the highway. There's a highway up there, a scenic highway that's up there. We actually did enter on that highway to get to the Bald River Falls. We did not ride that full highway though. So that's one of the highways I actually want to ride the full length of it. And I also do want to go to the Tail of the Dragon, which I haven't gone to since I've been riding motorcycles. I've been riding for 19 years, more than 19 years now. So never found the time or made the time to go up there. I actually want to go up there during the week rather than on the weekend to avoid the crowd. So that was a good ride, all back roads. And that was the same thing for the Amicalola Falls ride. The Amicalola Falls ride, we had, I think, four Harley Davidsons, 2 Gold Wings, one of which I ride, and then we had an Indian Challenger, which is designed in the fashion of the Harley Davidson Street Glide. So was a good ride, good mix of motorcycles riding up there. I have gone to the Amicalola Falls at least twice. I went up there on my first motorcycle. I went back with the group on my second motorcycle, and then now on the third motorcycle. This is the first time I've actually seen the waterfalls in different areas except for going to the top of it. So that was a good sight, different sight to see. That highway that I was mentioning that we entered in on in Tellico Plains, Tennessee, that is the Cerro Hollow Skyway. That's one that I want to ride in full. I've been to Asheville, North Carolina. I'm not sure if that highway is the one that goes through Asheville, but there is a scenic highway that goes through there. I've never ridden that highway. I wasn't on a motorcycle when I went to Asheville, so we didn't even get on that particular highway. So that's one of the roads I want to ride. That's a goal of mine, to ride that in full, and the tail of the dragon, as I said. Let's continue this morning ride to breakfast. Another place I've been in recently on vacation, I went to Montego Bay, Jamaica for about a week. Had fun over there. Did an ATV ride. We did a yacht tour. Actually got out in the water and was able to get out and look down, see clearly to the bottom of the ocean. When I got down, it was amazing to see how high we were, how deep the water was at that point. Almost takes your breath away. Put on your goggles and you can look down. I did see a cage in the bottom of the ocean, and I asked the yacht tour guide what it was, and they said it was for crabbing, catching crabs. It was, we were maybe 50 feet up, at least 50 feet deep. It was at the bottom of the ocean, but the water was clear so you could see it, so that was good. ATV tour was good. Was actually able to see to feed fish on the yacht tour. The fish is called a tarpon, T-A-R-P-O-N, and we were able to stop at a point and actually feed the fish. They would jump out of the water.
Hold on. Woo!
And on every occasion, none of the fish that we actually saw swimming around was the one that jumped out of the water. So we're here now at the Panera Bread. So let's see what we got here. I hope they're open. It is 8:54, so let's go in here and check them out. Yeah, they are open, so I saw somebody coming out, so we'll talk to you guys and gals, later. As you can see, on my quest to stay away from bread, I do have some bread. Caesar salad with chicken. I'm not going to eat this roll or this piece of bread here, but I will eat my cinnamon toast crunch bagel. Started out healthy, as you saw in the other part of this video. The reasons why I want to stay away from bread. It is a process. Remember to take my vitamins and minerals. Took my vitamin this morning before I left home because I bought chewables by mistake. And the chewables will stick to my napkin. So I chewed those before I left. So what I'm doing is the multivitamin, then a vitamin D3, magnesium, and then zinc, as recommended by my doctor for my age and for my race. Hope everyone is going to get their medical checkups, doctor's visits at least yearly. Yeah, at least once a year. You try to get your friends and family members to do the same. I was thinking about that while eating breakfast. So right now I'm only eating the salad. So salad was so big and filled me up too much to even think about eating. To think about eating my cinnamon crunch toast bagel. So I'll save that for later. Maybe watch some sports, some games today, and eat that bagel with some coffee.